Hello, Cristyl, Kimbrough. Glad to have you on Sheen Talk today. How's it going?
It's going really well. It's Atlanta and it's drizzling, so
Mhm.
people can't drive when it drizzles.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Other than that, they drive good.
Yes, it's raining here too in South Carolina, and people cannot drive 24/7. So
Like, what is it?
I don't know. I don't understand it. Well, let's go ahead and dive in. I want to talk about the new show that you're on, Ladies Who List in Atlanta. Yes.
Yes.
How
So,
is it being on the show?
ladies who list. Okay, Kristen. Um, the unique thing about this show is that none of us were housewives. None of us are attempting to build our career because of this show. The unique aspect is that we all have legitimate and successful businesses.
Right.
And it was interesting navigating, trying to not only be a business owner, but a lawyer. And exposing my personal life just a little, and not freaking out about how whatever role they wanted me to play. And I say that because, these editors are creative.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yes, they are.
We don't know this about reality television, but it was just interesting navigating how it all played out on camera, and we see it just like you see it. So every Friday I'm like, here we go. What is it gonna do?
What they gonna show this time?
I feel like this show should be renamed Ladies Who List, from Ladies Who List to Shit Cristyl Does Wrong.
No way. Oh, goodness. That's how they display it, huh?
That's how they display it. But you know what? I'll take it, and I'm having fun with it. And there's nothing that I can't. I'm very comfortable being uncomfortable, and there's nothing that I can't squeeze an opportunity out of. So here we go.
Right. Period. Make the best of it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, on the recent episode, you spoke about therapy, and your words were being easily triggered and how therapy has helped you in business. Can you explain that?
Well, therapy has helped me in not just business, but personally, of course. And I'm such a huge advocate because, I came from not a 2-parent household, but a 3-parent household.
Oh, wow.
I had a stepdad and my dad, and all of them were loving, all of them were supportive. And so I should have been well equipped to handle the world, right? Because I had all of this support around me.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is all of us experience some kind of trauma. No matter how great our parents were, they still don't get it 100% right. And even when we're out of the care of our parents, we experience trauma that we don't realize we still carry.
Yeah.
And it shapes how we think, it shapes how we feel, it shapes what we see and what we don't see in certain situations. So in an effort to gain a full picture and a full understanding, and an effort to be more empathetic, I'm an advocate for therapy because it's the only way that you're going to be able to see beyond yourself.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I'm actually just now getting into therapy. Well, I'm looking for a therapist. I'm open to it now. So I'm realizing the importance of it. So I'm glad you spoke about that on the show.
That's a first step, though, like being open to it. It's an interesting dynamic when you're in therapy, at least for me, because I don't always feel like talking and opening up and being vulnerable. Right. Sometimes I just want to leave something where it is and move on.
Right.
But you have this scheduled time where you have to open up and you have to talk about it. And more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
And one tip I do is I take notes whenever I'm feeling something.
Okay.
I take notes, I jot it down in my little phone, and that's how I remember everything that I need to bring up for my weekly session.
Wow. I didn't think about that. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. I'm still looking for a therapist, But
Yes.
I'm definitely open to it. I want to do it ASAP. I think it's going to help me because, like you said, you just never know what trauma you're carrying around. Yeah, for years, just never know.
Right. And even when you go through it, Kristen, it's not going to make you an expert. So on the show, it kind of portrays me as a pseudo therapist, but I'm not that. I still have trauma. I still have biases and all this other, BS, but it at least helps.
Yeah, it does. I'm sorry, my name on here is Kristen. That's actually our editor-in-chief. My name is Jessica Nash. I did not introduce myself.
Oh,
I'm actually the media coordinator, but yeah, it's under her name. I'm Jessica, but no problem. Okay. What advice would you give to women, especially me, a young woman that wants to get into business, just navigating through the business world and dealing with other Black women in business? What advice would you give to?
My number one thing that has helped me grow from a one-person job to a 14-person business is focusing on myself. It sounds so simple, but I think it's a trend to just focus on what other people are doing. And for me, I've never in my life been concerned with what other people are doing. And so it's been something that I've been naturally able to focus on. But the more you focus on you, wherever your energy goes towards is what you're going to nurture.
Yeah.
So if you are focusing on what, your competition is doing or what another business is doing, then you're going to nurture those feelings of jealousy and envy. But if you focus on yourself and nurturing your own goals and developments, then that's what's going to grow.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, and this is going to sound like a contradiction, but don't reinvent the wheel. There's somebody or some business that has done what you are wanting to do. Now, if you're wanting to develop a new invention and get a patent and all that, and that's new territory, obviously. Yeah. But for service-based industry, 9 times out of 10, there's something that you can model after. Don't reinvent the wheel. So I encourage everyone to do as much research, get mentors that are where you want to be, and develop a plan. And maybe it's not a sophisticated business plan because the idea of that seems a little jarring. Yeah. But maybe it's just, okay, this is what I want to do for the month. And so here's what I have to do by the week. And so here's what I have to do by the day.
Wow.
It up in consumable steps that won't overwhelm you so you don't get discouraged. The biggest hurdle you're going to have to face when starting a business is yourself.
Wow.
You can do anything. Yourself, your body, even your mental, you can do anything, but you have to convince yourself in your head that you can.
Wow. Yes.
So that's number 2. Number 3, figure out what your goal is and work backwards. I'm a huge component of working backwards. So in my industry as a closing attorney, we get our business from real estate agents, developers, real estate developers, and real estate brokers. So if I know I want to close 1,000 closings a month, then I know that I need probably 200 brokers in my book of business. And then from 200 brokers, you break it down to how many agents need to be under those brokerages, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And that's how you get to your final number of 1,000. Wow. So my 3 little takeaways: work backwards, know you can do it for yourself.
Yes, that's huge.
The very first thing I said. Now I'm showing my age because I'm getting a bash. I can't remember the very first thing that I said. I got a lot of little tips in this kid.
We will bullet point them because they're all were good tips to have. And I'm definitely going to keep that in mind, especially believing in myself and breaking things down into steps because you get overwhelmed with the big picture. So once you break it down, it becomes easier. I like that.
Steps. Yep, exactly.
Yes. So how did you become the oldest woman minority owned real estate law firm in Atlanta?
Well, I have to put a little asterisk next to that because I'm one of the oldest.
One of the oldest.
There is another closing firm by the name of Kim Hughes, and I don't mind shouting any other, especially Black women business out because there's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. I do have a relationship with her, but I don't know her, day to day.
Yeah.
She's been around for a long time. And how did I establish it? I established it because I wanted it, to be honest with you. There was no option to not succeed and to not be the best at what I do. So because I had already made up in my mind that that's what I wanted, it came to me.
Yeah.
That's just how life works. You want it, you actually believe you can get it. You take the action steps to get there, you'll get it.
Yeah. The drive and the passion for it.
Funny, Jessica, because I thought that was innate. I thought that everyone was the same in the way that they, are relentless, but they're not. No. I learned that when I started hiring staff. I just figured, hey, if I incentivize you to work, the more you work, the more you get paid. I thought that would equal more pay. It doesn't work like that for everyone.
Yep.
So
you gotta have the drive and the passion for it. Yep.
Everyone is not an entrepreneur, and that's okay. Yep. Everyone cannot lead, and that's okay. So you just have to figure out what works for you and what comes natural for you and go from there.
Wow. That's amazing. Who inspired you to become the first Black developed micro community in the US? What inspired you to do that?
So that story is a little interesting, and it was a little, I don't want to say accidental, but the universe just aligned to, and let me just explain. So you're referring to South Park Cottages.
Yes.
And there's a whole community of tiny homes in the world and in the US. And there aren't that many tiny home communities in Georgia. I don't know about South Carolina. We are expanding to your state though. So we'll be in touch soon. But so there aren't a lot of tiny home developments, but if you think about it, it's kind of necessary. How much time do you really spend at home? Is it really necessary to have 5,000 square feet? Right. And so as these communities are becoming more and more popular, they're dominated by, the majority, which is the white man. So there are a lot of white men that are developing tiny homes. And now there's this brilliant developer by the name of Booker Washington. He's closing with Kimbrough Law, maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago now. And he was a real estate investor, not necessarily a real estate developer that's doing subdivisions. He was a real estate investor that was like flipping single family homes one by one. I met him through a mutual friend, and I hosted a dinner for this mutual friend. And that's where Booker Washington and the other developer, Rashad Jennings, met. Oh, wow. And it was then that they started forming, a business relationship. And of course, Kimbrough Law's business relationship with them formed over the years. And now their baby has been born. Wow. Out of the 29 lots that are available, only 2 lots are left. So we're almost completely sold out. Wow. And so as the closing firm, what we're in charge of doing is not only closing on each individual home, but we're also drafting the homeowner association documents known as the CCRs. We're establishing the homeowner association. We draft custom builder contracts. And so we are literally a partner with the real estate developer. And then one of my other partners, Watson Realty Co., Kiana Watson, who's also a castmate, her broker is the exclusive listing agent. Wow. So we're all a little big family in the
Yeah,
real estate.
that's what I was gonna say. It's amazing how you all just came together, and from just having that one event, like everyone came together through that. That's
Yes,
amazing.
that's because you need to check them out. They're modern, they're
Mhm.
efficient. They've got solar panels on the roof, and it's only the beginning because they already are negotiating 2 other subdivisions. So,
Wow.
it's really not me, it's them. They need
Mhm.
all of the recognition
Yeah,
for that
I think
project.
that's so cool. We would love to bring it over to South Carolina because we definitely need it. Um, where else is it? Just in Georgia now, or is it
Well,
in other
there's no
states?
other Black developed tiny home
Mhm.
community in
Mhm.
the country, maybe not even the world, but for sure the country.
Mhm.
Um, so I'll put the little bug in their ear, like, hey, South Carolina has a need.
Yes, yes, we do.
Put a bug in their ear. We'll see what they can come up with.
Amazing. Well, I know you represent some top influencers and celebrities. Can you name a few for us, or?
You know what? It's really, and I'm still frustrated over this
Mhm.
because I'm a practicing attorney. And so we are bound by attorney-client privileges. And
Mhm.
a lot of the people that we close with, they close all the time.
Mhm.
So they're not necessarily interested in flashing the new purchase that they've done.
Mhm.
But when I tell you, I have closed with the Hollywood elite,
I believe
like
it.
especially in Black culture, the icons in the Black culture, even
Mhm.
the newer icons in the making. I mean, it's just a
Mhm.
privilege, and they all were very down to earth. But I can't disclose who they are because they don't
Yeah,
want to be disclosed.
I figured that. I thought I would try.
Yeah, you're not gonna get me because in the state bar of Georgia, they come knocking.
I know. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
well, tell us when and how we can watch the show.
So please tune in every Friday, 9 o'clock a.m., 9 o'clock p.m. Don't log in at a.m. because you
Too
won't get
early.
anything. But definitely tune in every Friday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the OWN Network to check me out on Ladies Who List.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm going to be tuned in.
Please,
Thank you,
Jessica.
Cristyl, so much. This was fun. I learned so much from you, like so
Yeah.
much from you. Thank you for
And
the advice.
real estate is just an awesome way to develop generational wealth.
Hmm.
And more than anything, I hope people take that away from the show.
Hmm.
Episodes 6 through 8 are going to start showing more of our work because all of the women are accomplished in our own right and brilliant.
Hmm.
And more than anything, it's important that we expose people who look like us to what we do
Hmm.
so that they can
Yes.
do it too and start
Yes.
creating generational wealth. And that's really the only reason why I really wanted to be a part of this.
Hmm.
So
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Cristyl. I hope you have a great day. We will bring you
you
back for
too.
another Sheen Talk.
Enjoyed it. You have a good one. Stay dry.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye.